You're watching Fox 9 Sports Now.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Fox 9 Sports Now. Jim Rich along with the superstar Mike Morris, and we are joined tonight by Vikings tight end Kyle Rudolph. First off, congratulations for making it through cuts.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just made it.
Yeah.
Such a good day. It's a great day, right, when you make the last
Always
cut?
good. Always good.
Yep. I was always ready with my socks washed and everything folded in my duffel bag so that when they gave me the word, I could just run and not have to see all the guys. You know, I was Mr. On the Bubble.
You had the truck idling. You had the ball boy bringing it around and have it set ready to go.
Well, they would have had the ball boy for a really good player. I didn't get a ball boy for that kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
Cab fare they gave you.
Cab fare, Uber driver.
Greyhound ticket.
Yeah. Apple map for my next stop. Yeah.
All right, now obviously the big news coming out of Winter Park, Kyle, you have a new quarterback now as Rick Spielman pulls the trigger, acquiring Sam Bradford from the Philadelphia Eagles. And for you, this certainly has to be a message that the team is stepping up. As Mike Zimmer said on Tuesday when this happened, that, you know what, this is a team. This isn't all about one guy. And then to go out and get a piece like this to keep pushing forward, it has to really say a lot to you and your teammates.
Absolutely. I mean, it speaks directly to us. They want to win now, and they think we have a chance of winning right now. And we feel like we have one of the most talented teams that we've had around here in a long time. So when they had the opportunity to go get a guy like Sam Bradford, they jumped at it. And I think if you look at what Rick and Coach Zim have done, it speaks in the faith that they have and the talent in that locker room, because they think with willing to give up a first-round pick that we have a chance to win the Super Bowl right now.
What does he bring to the table? I know you've had a very limited time. You're just from practice, so you got to catch some passes from him today. But what did you see? What do you know so far?
And he's extremely successful quarterback. You know, you look at his days at Oklahoma and winning the Heisman Trophy and all the success that he had there, and then being the #1 overall pick. And you know, as most of us have gone through in our careers, you hit a little bit of adversity with injuries. When healthy, he's been an outstanding quarterback. So, we're looking forward to getting him here, and we have all the confidence in him and Sean Hill as well.
All right, now you can plug your ears for this, because the superstar thinks maybe the price may have been a bit high. So I don't even want you to nod your head in agreement or disagreement, because Rick Spielman's your boss. But, Mike, do you think this may have been a little high for the Vikings to put that much on the table?
I thought initially when I heard this that it seemed like a bit of a stretch to give the #1 up. But when you look at how this team is structured and the way it's built, and they're built for making it into the playoffs right now and advancing through the playoffs, meaning that first-round draft choice would be 27, 28, 29. And you and I talked about it before the show, but that makes sense for him then to think, I've still got my 2 and 2 number 3s. And I never really looked at it that way. I thought it was a bit of a stretch, but looking at it that way, he could still trade up and get a #1 and still be on track. But initially it hit me as, wow, #1. And just the liability, too, with Sam Bradford being somewhat injury prone. I don't like to use that word, but I just did. But it seems like he's had his share of, and the ACLs, 2 of them, since he was drafted out of Oklahoma. But there's no question, the talent and the value for a guy like that it's clearly what they're paying him and what he deserves. But if he can stay on the field, I think that he is worth every bit of that. I think that he was the best option out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But with Teddy gone for you, Kyle, all the work you guys put in together, that goes on hold now for at least this season. And for those fans that don't understand the work that you guys put in, not only here at Winter Park, but you guys even met together on your own in the off season to get together. What chemistry are you trying to build by doing those workouts?
Oh, not only, I wouldn't say that, all that work is put on hold. All that work between Teddy and I may not come to fruition this season, but all that work with Teddy made me a much better tight end, made me a much better route runner. So, in working with Teddy and putting in the time that we put in, he's made me a much better player than I was, say, this time last season. So, I don't think it's fair to say that work goes on hold. I definitely think that's made me a much better player, and I think Teddy feels the same way. And, for us, about making up that ground now with 2 quarterbacks that we really haven't had a whole lot of work with, it's just about doing some extra, sticking around after practice, working during special teams, getting every rep, every opportunity that we have possible to try to make up some of that ground that we may have lost all spring and during training camp.
How is the team? How do you feel the team is now that the injury is behind you now for a few days? What is the karma? What is the aura left behind in the locker? Because
it's funny because last week, Tuesday when Teddy gets hurt, initially everyone just devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated for Teddy. We realized that we still have a super talented team, and if there is any ultimate team sport, it is football. So we knew we still had a chance. But the devastation for a guy who had such an incredible offseason, his best preseason to date, culminating in that Charger game where he was on fire, just played so well. So you're devastated for him, but we knew no one was going to feel sorry for us, so we had to get up and get going. And then earlier this week when we found out we traded for Sam, it felt like, Rick and Coach Zim, as I mentioned earlier on the show, they are showing to us that, look, we think we can win right now, and we're going to win at all costs. We're going to do whatever possible. And I think that kind of breathed some life back into our locker room. And, going out there today on the practice field for the first time since that last preseason game was really good for us.
All right, so you talk about improving your game. I mean, you've already had a pretty good career. You already got a Pro Bowl behind you. What kind of things are you trying to achieve? What can we see on Sundays? Or is it something that we as fans don't even detect?
It's hard to say. For me, playing the tight end position, there's so many things that you can do to help your team win. And, one game it can be catching 10 balls and a touchdown, and the next week it can be helping in protection. And, we run the ball 35 times, and it's one of those games. So, it's hard to put a statistic out there. I want to catch 80 balls this year. That's
right.
My goal. So I've never really had a statistic goal going into a season. But for me, it's about making impact plays. What we need to do as an offense is take advantage of 8-man fronts. We're going to see even more now than maybe if Teddy was healthy. Stuff that we have to do in the passing game on first and second down. All things that I can bring to this offense and things that I can do to help this offense be better. And if I can do that, I can help this offense take the next step in getting us a little bit more balanced, then I think that will be a successful year for me.
What would the learning curve be for Sam Bradford coming in with this much time before the first game against the Titans? How much
steep.
of your playbook can be accessible? I know. Especially Norv Turner, I get it. But what is your thought? How much can be expected of him, and where do you kind of go from day one with him now in practice?
Well, I think, starting off with the learning curve, like I mentioned before, it's steep. If any playbook is tough to learn, it's Norv's. But if anyone can do that, just from being around Sam for a little while and talking to Pat, who had him in Philly, there's not a brighter guy out there. And, he's a guy that's going to put in the time, put in the work to get the X's and O's down and then let him go out there and just play.
All right, now, both of you guys have been great at giving back. The Star, of course, at his day had his charity golf event and gala, and you're still helping out. You're going to play in a flag football game coming up at the new stadium.
This Saturday.
It's remarkable what you guys do. And on Friday night, here in the midst of all that's going on, you take the time to crash a draft party. Explain how this happens. You had to even carry in the pizzas, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, it was fun. I thank Devani's for giving me the opportunity to go over there to the Devani's in Eden Prairie and stop in on a little local fantasy football party. So I was a little disappointed, though. I walked in about halfway through and I had not been taken yet. So I think I went off the board shortly after when I delivered the pizza.
I'm sure. I think so. I think that would be
make brownie points.
Yeah,
Win points. Yeah, let's draft him now. Yeah, he's here. He's here.
Yes.
That's funny.
Then maybe he'll sit at my table the rest of the time.
How many different things are you involved with like this, where they have you either out doing this kind of thing for just the fun of it, or your charities? You have several that I know of. And how many of those are
my
going
wife
at the
and
same
I work closely with the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital, and we have our End Zone project there that we kind of started last spring with the draft party, and behind our donation and raising funds through the community, we're looking forward to getting that launched here this fall. And we also work closely with the Starkey Hearing Foundation, hometown, right here in our backyard in Eden Prairie, and the work that Bill and Tanny Austin do. We support them all the way, and anytime we have an opportunity to work with them, get to their gala, we do. So lots of things around here, especially teammates initiatives. Chad Greenway's Lead the Way Foundation. Anytime we have an opportunity to get to one of their events, we do. So a lot of different things. You know, we don't have our own personal family foundation or, you know, a Kyle Rudolph foundation. So if we have the opportunity to help any foundation from the Vikings Children's Fund to Chad to the hospital to Starkey, we like to try to do that.
Why has that been so important to you? But you jumped in right from day one. I mean, when you lived in John Sullivan's basement, when you first were here, you were showing up at these events, you know, and like you said, the Masonic Children's Hospital has really jumped out to you now.
It's, you know, we're so fortunate and blessed to be in the situation that we're in, and, you know, not everyone else is as fortunate. So, you know, too much is given, much is expected, and we feel like in order for us to be able to lay our head on the pillow at night, you know, we got to help some other people out. It's not right for us to just take all these blessings and keep them to ourselves. So it's really important to my wife and I and everyone in our family that we actually give back to the community that we call home now.
Yeah, I mean, because you want to build an end zone, right?
Absolutely.
Place for the kids. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff. No, you can't go there.
Please, come on, let me.
Oh, you're more than welcome to come down.
I'm going. I'm going to be there. But you know, I love what you're saying because it means it rings true that we're all in this together. And certainly those who have been so fortunate should, you know, pick somebody else up who is not as fortunate and help them along. But you're doing a great job. You're one of the good Vikings in town that do that kind of work.
All right, one last football question before we get to you drawing at the telestrator, which we're going to do real fast. Sam Bradford, he comes in with the connection with the tight ends coach, Pat Shermer, who's now your coach. What have you learned about how Pat's approaches to the game that may have been different from how you've been coached in the past? And how, knowing him, do you think Sam will fit in here? Or maybe perhaps why he lobbied so much to get Sam here?
Well, I think if you go back and look at Pat's career and all the places that he's been, the experience that he's had being a head coach, being a coordinator for a long time, whether in St. Louis or in Philly, you know, he brings that same, you know, mentality and that same approach to our tight end group. And, you know, he coaches us like he's coaching the whole offense. You know, a lot of times in the tight end room, you can get just focused on what you have and, you know, what your responsibility is. And we really try to learn globally. And if you know what the guy next to you is doing or the guy across the ball from you is doing, it really helps you kind of paint a picture as a whole. And, you know, not only has he brought, you know, that global mentality to us, but, you know, also brought some new ideas and stuff. You know, he always says the wheel spun pretty well before I got here. I'm just here to make it spin a little bit better. So we love having Pat and definitely learned a ton from him so far.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Kyle's going to take over your board and draw up some of his plays.
Let me drop a long snapping play. It's so difficult.
We should really do
Let's
that.
see. Reach right, reach left. Okay.
Yeah.
Cover. Come on.
All right, we'll do that. We'll take a look at his big touchdown that he caught just the last time, 2 times out ago in the preseason against the Chargers. First touchdown at US Bank Stadium. And also the Twins continue to smash home runs at a record pace, but pitching's still a problem. We'll know if they had enough power to get the job done as we continue. Welcome back to Sports Now. Tight end Kyle Rudolph, kind enough to stay with us. Mike Morris, a superstar, also with us. All right, we're going to look back at a couple of your touchdowns. One from last season and then one from the preseason. Mike's going to draw it up first, and then you tell us what you did on this play.
Perfect.
Mike, go at it. Let's get right into this one
All
against the Lions. Let me turn that on for you. Go
Here we
ahead.
Red Ellison in motion, right across. As soon as he does that, he gets behind, the ball is snapped, and Kyle Rudolph right here into this block. Feels the pressure into his hands, into his block, just butts him up, and then shucks him to the left side and then releases out underneath this, right here. Gets the ball, clean touchdown.
All right, Kyle, we'll look at it at another angle here, but when do you know it's time to release? How do you know how long you need to engage your defender?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, you have to sell to this guy here that number 28's getting the ball, and that's a pretty easy thing to do. So they're thinking it's going
this way, right?
You know, we're inside the 1 yard line. There's 11 guys that are thinking he's getting the ball, and I have to sell that initially. So, you know, if I come off and just give him a nice thud to where he feels pressure and peeks in here to see that Adrian's getting the ball, and then my eyes are always back here. So as soon as I see these guys, you know, they're all coming here for run, and then I'll just sneak right out behind.
That's pretty sweet how it works, but, you know, to come through with that, and then it was a great grab too. That thing was almost out a little too far.
You can't do all the work and then not make the catch. So once you get down in there, you have to bring it in.
All right, we got another one quickly here to show you. That hopefully I can figure out how to make this work. Why did that go away?
There we go.
There we go. Let me bring this one up for you. And again, Star, if you would do the honors on this.
Absolutely. San Diego, last couple weeks ago now, preseason. Here's the big man. We're going to be watching him. He's going to clear 2 defenders down the field. One, I think, here. Another one down here a little further. Teddy steps back. Well, he's already back, so out of the shotgun, he's going to lob it right over the top, just out of the reach of the second defender, I think, who was the safety. And a nice jump catch right here and into the end zone. And he can't get the ball out of his hands on the spike.
Yes, it was amazing. That new stickum that you put on.
Yeah, after the fumble the drive before, I had to get some stickum on there. And, we can draw all we want on here, but this one's all on number 5. If you go back to the wide copy.
Well, that may not be possible.
That's all right. Well, you can still see from this angle. You have number 50,
right over Teo's
former
head.
college teammate of mine, in tight coverage, and that's all Teddy with the throw. It doesn't get any closer than that. That was all just me reaping the benefits of a great throw.
All right, so we'll bring you back here, and you've got some unique transportation to the stadium this year.
It's a fun deal through Maury's Luxury Auto. So they're providing me with a different car each and every week. So I'm excited. Roll up to the new stadium and some new wheels each week. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with Maury's and all the great people there. And all their dealerships, not necessarily just the Luxury Auto, but the Maury's Automotive Group as a whole.
All right, and the last thing you got, going back to Notre Dame.
Yes.
Star, we have to get in on this trip.
Yeah, so through a couple Notre Dame guys and Vault Aviation, we're doing private charters back to South Bend for all 6 home games. Round trip flight from anywhere in the world. Wow. Not just anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. So if you're on vacation, or we got some folks over in Ireland that want to come back to South Bend, but realistically anywhere in the United States. Round trip flight. We'll put you up in our 4-bedroom townhouse back in South Bend, and we'll get you tickets to the game. So as a Notre Dame fan, it's a package that you can't beat. I can promise you it'll be your best game day experience.
No doubt about it. Follow him on Twitter, Kyle Rudolph 82, and you can find all the information there. Kyle,
Jim,
thank you so much for coming in. Star, as always, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Mike, good to see you.
Nicely done. Keep going.
Keep friends. All right, back with more.